Hello everybody, and welcome to the first iteration of
Pokemon Masters Council.
Ooh, new name, new brand, same podcast. Justin, welcome to the studio. This is the first time that you've recorded anything down here with me.
Looks good so far. Can't wait to, we did some spring cleaning. Can't wait to get everything hung up on this back wall.
Talk in the microphone for us.
Can't wait to get everything set up on this back wall over here behind us. Already got the drum set, so
Yep. So
looking good so far, man.
For those of you who are listening, because we will have this on podcast providers, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever else is listed. I don't remember what they all are. I got Justin here with me.
Big hype.
First time in a while. I've got a little studio going down here, drum set, Sonic stuff in the background.
A proper nerd man cave.
Yeah, we're really leaning into it here. So, yeah, Justin, what's up, man?
Not much. We had a tournament over the past weekend. That's basically kind of what we're going to be talking about today in the main topic. We've got a little bit of news coming out. We've got a brand new patch for Unite, and we've also got some really exciting news, obviously, for the channel and, going around the rebranding. So, other than that, just been working on a lot of stuff off air, different artwork and stuff like that for the channel. Trying to get stuff ready for this week of the unveiling. Basically, next week will be the official launch of it. 1st of May essentially.
Yeah,
was our goal, and everything looks on track. So stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff coming out. A lot of leaks and rumor mill coming out for Scarlet and Violet version. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah,
we might touch on that a little bit. So really, really happy with where things are at right now in the Pokemon world. I wish we had a little bit more news rather than speculation, but that's just how the mill churns. Probably like the Unite tier list we did. 2 days later, they'll have a big patch and change everything, just like this podcast.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. And it's like we got some decent traction on that.
Yeah, we did
on that episode too, and people seem to really tune into it and like it and really like the thoughts. And then literally 2 days later,
hey, I stand by what we said in that podcast for what patch we were on that time.
Yeah, because it's just so funny that I think we had Trevenant as the worst Pokemon.
Yeah.
And now he's up there for potentially best defender, at least.
I love him. I've been having so much fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you guys have been paying attention to the channel, you'd see some of our videos already with the new Duraludon and Trevenant coming out. So, just really kind of happy with where things are at. This patch changes kind of a lot of things. They've actually went in and touched some items and stuff, which is really cool. So, yeah, really excited. I guess that's about it. We can hop into some news.
Yeah, so first we're going to talk about Pokemon Unite. We are recording this on a Wednesday. The patch drops tomorrow.
Yeah.
This podcast will drop Friday. So
busy week.
Yeah. So we've got some things that we're not going to go over every single little detail, but we've got some rumors. Supposedly a patch was put out in text and then taken down, but somebody
translated it
and got all the information, and now it's kind of floating around.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big patch coming. We've got obviously buffs, nerfs, and some item changes.
Yeah, pretty cool. So, just a quick overview. Basically, the big things of note here. So, the big nerfs in terms of items are obviously Buddy Barrier.
Yes,
that's a big one.
That's the big one.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So, Buddy Barrier, you're going to be getting a little bit less shielding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll have to actually get our hands on it to see.
Yeah, because it could be something so minuscule. You could go from whatever
10 to 9 or something.
Yeah, exactly. So
or
it's
you could go from 10 to 5. That's a bigger jump.
That's huge.
So.
Yeah, because then that would make that item pretty much
correct
useless, and then you guys would be really mad that you spent all your item enhancers on it.
Exactly.
Like myself, I got mine at level 30. I'd be really mad. So yeah, we got potential Buddy Barrier nerf.
Yeah, the other really big nerf of this patch, the thing that's kind of making the news is the Burb Talonflame.
Yeah,
he got hit in the knees with a baseball bat pretty hard, didn't he?
Really, really hard.
They cut him off where it counts. They hit him. They hit the Brave Bird.
Yes,
which has been really popular. We've actually been talking about it with Doug as well. That Brave Bird has been everywhere. I'm personally a Fly fan myself.
Same.
But yeah, and then they also touched the ultimate, and it's interesting what they did. They increased the movement, the cooldown.
Yep.
and they decreased the range. So like that long stretch that he doesn't go as far now.
Yeah.
So be interesting. Gotta try it out. But
yeah, I'm kind of curious. Like, what do you think about that? That change to the ultimate. Like, do you have any thoughts on that?
It depends on how much shorter it is. Maybe they're trying to make it more of. I like the cooldown increase because like he got his ultimate way too fast.
Yeah,
it was
he did.
Just always up. It was annoying.
Yeah.
Especially when you pair it with fly, because then he just gets away. So,
and buddy barrier.
So and the fact that they hit buddy barrier too, if that gets hit, and Talonflame might just be DOA at the moment. I'm not sure. We have to get our hands on it, but I'd be a little fearful. I'm a big Bird fan. I know you've played him. Doug's a huge Talonflame fan. It's in his top 3 of most played.
Yeah.
So we are definitely gonna be testing that out. We have been talking about it behind the scenes. Definitely going to be high on our list of priorities for this new patch.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the buffs.
The buffs. Who got buffed?
Crammy.
Cramorant's get buffed. Okay, yeah. Who got buffed?
Who got buffed?
Cramorant got buffed.
The man, the myth, the legend, the dumbest duck that nobody understands how or why it got in this game or how or why it's that good. But we love it anyways.
Yeah, so Cramorant Air Slash got a buff.
Really happy. That's my preferred build.
Yeah. So you use that. Pokemon saw the error of their ways, decided to buff the duck. I would really...
Yeah, presumably they put the, again, patch notes in translation. We gotta wait till the actual comes out. But presumably they're buffing back the ultimate to maybe to where it was before when it was Giga broken.
Yeah, which Cramorant needs. Like, being stationary during your ult sucks.
It does. It's a big detriment. So yeah, I'm excited to try the duck out again, dust him off, and get him on the field. The other big one that happened was to 2 of the new additions, both Ghost type and both PMC favorites. One of which we just talked about, Trevenant, got more buffs, 2 patches in a row.
Dude.
I think he's been in a great position. Somebody used him in a big tournament.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually been getting a lot of steam. We've been talking about him in PMC. You tried him.
I tried him, and I liked him a lot.
He's so fun, especially the grass build using Horn Leech and Woodhammer.
Bop.
The new Woodhammer's amazing. New Horn Leech, they cleaned it up just like High Horsepower with Mammo. That got that clunkiness, polished a little bit more. Feels great.
Yep.
This patch, they actually gave us some love to Phantump.
Yeah.
So they buffed Branch Poke, which is essentially like Tackle.
Yeah.
For him, like early game stuff. They increased the damage and the slow, I believe.
Sorry, just flexing my cup real quick. Yeah, some gym leaders. Anyway, sorry, buddy. Keep going.
And which is really interesting because I already thought Phantump was pretty good early.
Yeah, I was literally in my mind. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, okay, this Pokemon was already pretty good early, especially if you are really good at getting like all of your Will-O-Wisps hit.
Yeah,
I know. Obviously, that's not Branch Poke, but we're talking about Branch Poke.
Yeah.
But like buffing both of those.
Yeah, it's really nice.
You know what I mean? Buffing Branch Poke, like the early game presence is just going to be that much better.
And I believe they reduced the cooldown was one of the rumors too.
I think so.
So that's just, you're checking every box here. More damage, more slow, and more cooldown. Like, it's just better all around.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then they also are buffing his ultimate, which, heaven light shine down upon us. The grass pokes are here. Like, I'm thrilled. I'm through the roof. I hope they crack him.
Yeah.
I hope they crack him like an egg, man. I hope that he comes out and just murders everybody.
Yep.
I'm so happy. Let's go. So they also buffed Curse. I don't really like Curse right now.
No.
But it's going to take a lot for me to get off of Woodhammer for Curse, but I will be willing to give it a try. I'm excited for what the rumor are for the patch notes. The other big one there for PMC stuff is Aegislash. I've been liking Aegislash. I've been having a lot of fun. He's one of my favorite all-rounders other than Charizard. I've been putting in work.
A lot of the content creators, like the bigger names, they put Aegislash really low, like as far as like when they do like tier lists and stuff like that. I think like just the pure damage potential alone, especially if you let this Pokemon jungle, like that's when we play him, it's always jungle. Yeah,
and I'll be level 9, and Brandon was like, "Dude, I'm like just ding level 6."
Yeah, exactly. I just got my second move, and you already hit Aegislash. So it's like,
it's crazy if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, the damage potential, like even with no guard, like yes,
and that's the key is to play around to get out of no guard as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But what they're doing here is they're buffing the base damage of his, I believe, is Empowered Auto, so the Dash Auto, which is great.
Yeah.
And they're buffing the damage of Sacred Sword. So
Why?
let's go.
Why?
Let's go.
Why,
I'm so
dude?
ready. The last thing to talk about Unite before we move on to the next piece of news is Blissey. It's a bit of a rework, question mark.
Really
so basically,
interesting.
what they did is, her kit still works the same. Basically, what they did is they're trying to make Egg Bomb more viable, which I like Egg Bomb because it has CC and it allows me to get in there and mix it up a little bit. I find the other build a little boring, but I do think it is competitively viable. Obviously, it's not very fun to play. It's not very engaging.
Yeah.
Egg Bomb, they're trying to make more viable, and what they did is they basically gave you, if you take a mixture of Egg Bomb and Soft Boiled, the healing move over Safeguard, which is the cleanse, you get extra ammunition. So you basically get extra Soft Boiled, so you can use it more often. Because basically, you're using the eggs from Egg Bomb, I guess. So, cool. Fits the lore. Sounds great, right?
Yep.
So, and then the other thing they did is they basically swapped around the moves that upgrade at level 10 and the moves that upgrade at level 12, they swap. So what used to upgrade at level 10 was now 12, and what used to be 12 is now 10. It's the short version of it.
Which is kind of weird.
It's an interesting change.
But I don't really play Blissey, so...
Yeah.
I'm
interested to try it out again, because again, that's my favorite build, is Soft-Boiled Egg Bomb, so I am excited to get in there and mix it up and try it out for a couple games. And maybe run with you. Maybe we'll do Trevenant Blissey lane or something and just steamroll people. Oh my god,
yeah. Good luck scoring on that.
Yeah. So, really, really fun.
Yeah. So, what we're going to do now, we're going to talk about the European International Championship that happened over the weekend. We were going to talk about VGC, and we're going to talk about TCG. We actually did this for... What was that tournament? Oh, Salt Lake City.
Yep.
We did that for Salt Lake City, but my computer could not handle our recording, and unfortunately, we didn't even get to post that. Because that was a really good conversation. But...
Yeah, we've been having some technical difficulties, and then your kids are on spring break, so stuff happens. No big deal. We're here now.
But I have been spending the dollar bills, guys.
Oh,
I got a job. I already got a promotion. I'm spending these dollar bills. I upgraded my RAM. I bought a whole new wireless network. We're here.
Got some cards right here.
Yeah. I did get cards. Big cards. I wish I would buy less real life packs, because when I spend $4 on a pack and I don't pull something,
it sucks.
It hurts. So yeah, we are going to talk about VGC. Let's talk about the European International Championship. All right, so we got the VGC side of things first. Sorry for those of you who are listening, but whatever. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to watch us go through some teams right now. We've got the results for top 64.
Yeah.
And obviously Eric Rios, the winner.
Yep.
Has he won? He's won this before.
I believe so.
I think he might have won this before. I know on the TCG side, the guy that won, Gustavo.
Yeah.
He has won the TCG side of the
he's
European
a big name.
again.
Yep.
So,
I guess we should start off with spoiler alert. If you haven't been paying attention to Series 12 or whatever. 11,
I think we're in 12.
12. Whatever series they're in now. If you haven't been paying attention, Zacian's pretty popular.
He is.
In the top 10, we've got, 7 teams that bring Zacian?
Yeah, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, that's still a good number.
6 in the top, just in the top 10. And spoiler, if you go to the top 20, there's another 12 down there.
Yeah.
Look at Zacian all the way down. So lots of hot dogs, lots of swordfish. That was the final match, was Zacian Kyogre versus Zacian Groudon. And spoiler alert for those who have not watched it yet. Okay, are you gone? Spoiler alert, the Groudon won. So it's Zacian, Groudon, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, Gastrodon, and Charizard versus Zacian, Kyogre, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Landorus Therian, and Tornadus Incarnate.
Yeah, so in the finals match, well, let's look at a couple other teams before we talk about the finals match, because there's a few interesting things to talk about. Obviously, so we got Joe UX9. We're a big fan of him. making the top 4 with Yveltal and Groudon. Another nice performance from him.
Really good showing here, especially because he is using the Incineroar in the Sun. You know, I'm a big fan. He also has the Venusaur, one of Brandon's huge big fan.
See, you know, I'm sad because like your favorite grass start, well, one of your favorite grass starters of all time, and your favorite Kanto starter, they make the 1-2.
They make the top.
And my boys left out.
The
third,
next 3,
fourth,
all of these.
Yeah.
And then he's rounding his team off really nicely with actually one of our favorite picks with the Alecki, and then also was that Trace Blue Duck? So Porygon 2.
I think so. Yeah. So yeah, I think I didn't
really
actually
nice finish for him.
Yeah. I didn't actually get to see a lot of his games. So.
Yeah, he actually got taken down by a double weather squad, which is featuring Zacian, Kyogre, as well as the Tornadus, Incin, and then he also has a Sun contingent with Torkoal, and I believe that was the Sleep Powder Venusaur.
Yeah. I think there might be more than one of these kinds of teams too, but
the dual weather.
So like you mentioned, there's a bunch of...
I do like the Cradily in 10th spot. That made me really, really happy.
Yeah.
Or not Cradily, excuse me. The misspoke. The Calyrex. There's actually 2. There's a Sippin at number 7, and then there's 2 with the Reshiram, which is so cool.
That's crazy.
That's awesome sauce.
Yep.
And then obviously we got a couple Calyrex. So yeah, just a really, really nice turnout. A lot of Incins, a lot of Hoenn legendaries like we predicted, and Zacian is basically like 75% representation.
We got Wolf with the hyper offense, and I'm pretty sure Aaron Trailer brought the same exact
squad.
team.
Yeah,
same exact. Yep. So yeah, just super fast hyper offense. We are seeing, like, don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of Swordfish and Hot Dog. It's literally like 90% of this list, but there are some cool things.
There are some cool standouts. Like, I really like the Blastoise at I believe it was in the top 10.
I think
there it is, number
Blastoise.
6.
Yep. With a Dialga
and
a Weezing.
Weezing, I'm assuming that's Newt Gas.
Yeah.
So really, really cool stuff. I'm really happy to see that there is some variety even in the high ladder. Really, really good showing. The finals match was pretty exciting, actually. We can get into that now if you're ready. Again, as we said, heavy spoilers if you haven't watched it. Link will be in the description if you want to pause this, go watch it, and then come back. Go for it. But, all right, if you're not gone, we're going to talk about it now. So, Eric Rios versus Oliver Escalin. Sorry if I mispronounce either one of those, but basically, Eric was running the Groudon, and Oliver was running the Kyogre, and Eric is the one that became victorious. We were talking off camera, Brandon and I. Zero, I really think that the reason that he won was because first of all, he was in the role. Like towards the last couple of turns, we were talking about it. He looked very calm and collective. It looked like he was sort of chilling on a beach vibes. Like he knew, like he had it locked in. He just 1, 2, 3, finish the race. Boom, I got it, checkmate.
Yeah.
And it was the Gastrodon.
It was.
I think Gastrodon was MVP by far. The use of Storm Drain and those predictions on the Yawn to predict the Incineroar parting shot out to the Rillaboom was just I got so hyped for that play. Really,
the crowd did too. They had a crowd and everything. And people were like,
and
hollering
then
over
he
that.
ended up sacrificing the Gastrodon in order to then set up the checkmate play at the end, which was having the protect.
Yeah.
To bait out and stall out the Thunder, get rid of the, or to bait out, stall out the Rain. Excuse me, not getting him a chance to hit him with Thunder, and then knocking out the big whale, and then boom, 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 being able to take out the Tornadus for the dubs. So you were talking
Landorus,
same difference. Yeah. Sorry,
you're good.
The fact that he landed like 4 or 5 Thunders, 4 Thunders, and not a single one paralyzed. If you'd have paralyzed that Zacian, game over.
The whole set.
I
don't remember how many, if any, he landed in the first 2 games. The second game, I Oliver popped off.
Yeah, he just got him.
Yeah, 'cause he forced to concede.
He did a really
Eric.
good job. So like he could have won the final match also. It was the Gastrodon. He made the Gastrodon play and then he sacked him like a pawn in chess for the checkmate. And the honest answer is Oliver fell for the trap. From a commentary perspective or an analyst perspective, Eric did a really good job of setting out the bait and executing properly, counting out his turns properly to make sure that he had his math correct in his head on the fly in a big stress situation.
Yeah.
Super big kudos to both these players. It was an amazing watch. We had a really good time talking about it and watching this. It's live coverage. It was like a sporting event for us.
Yeah, it was.
So just can't be more excited to see the finals match of this big tournament.
Yeah, I'm really excited for, because like live events are back, and spoiler alert, this is going to be one of the focuses of the podcast now. Every time there's a big tournament, every time there's an IC or a regional, we're going to get the results and we're going to talk about it.
This is sort of a living vlog diary of our hobbies.
Yeah. And
that's where we're at right now. That's what we're doing in our hobby time for part of it, is paying attention and dealing with tournament stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, especially because we're going to cover TCG pretty extensively now.
Yeah, we're in.
Yeah. So another thing that I wanted to point out about these games and these teams, two things. First of all, I don't think did Oliver bring his own Zacian once? Or did he roll with Kyogre, Incin, Rillaboom, and Landorus every time?
I think that's what he went. I don't think he brought the dog. And again, we didn't see Eric didn't bring his Incin or his Grimmsnarl, I don't believe, a single time, did he?
I don't think so.
I think he rolled the same 4.
Yeah, we saw the same 4 every time. I guess.
So, like, he knew the Gastrodon was there. He knew what to expect. That's why I word it that way. I'm not taking... He's a way better player than I am, obviously. I guess I should preface that. But
yeah.
That's what I mean, because it wasn't just a one-off on the ladder. And because, these people know what but he had the full set to know that play was coming, and he did fall for the part, and he fell for the trap.
Yeah.
He got baited, and it was a very inspiring, crisp, clean play. As soon as that popped off, whoa, he got him! Yeah. So, like, all shout-outs to Eric. Obviously, shout-outs to Oliver for coming in second place. It's amazing. Y'all did great. It was so much fun to watch.
Yep. Then the last thing I wanted to kind of note is the difference. The other Pokemon that made a difference, and this is going to sound boring, but it is like the reality of the situation, was Zacian.
Yes.
The fact that because Oliver can't bring his Zacian. Look at this team.
No, he can't.
You got another Zacian. You've got Groudon, Incineroar. Grimmsnarl doesn't really matter.
Ground fire.
Like, you got 5 Pokemon here. You can't bring it. You can't bring Zacian. You can't.
And that is a heel kick right here. That is an Achilles to that squad. That's one of the reasons why this particular squad has won like 4 out of the past 5 majors or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's why Sun keeps beating Rain.
It's because Zacian is the big boy on campus, and Sun beats it. Yeah, Sun beats Zacian. He's a steel type, weak to fire. It's pretty, we're not digging up new ground here.
No.
It's very inspiring to see Boomer doing so well, but
it is, yeah.
Him getting baited out like that, it was counters. I was like, no.
I really want to see a Venusaur squad.
I know, right?
Take down a regional or take down an international championship. Like, this is the time.
I want to see that Reshiram squad take it down. That number 7.
I would take that over the Venusaur. I think.
Heck yeah, let's go.
I think I would take that over the Venusaur.
So yeah, really, really happy about this. And you want to talk about some cards?
Let's talk about some cards. Now we're moving over to the TCG side of things. We've got our top 8.
We got some spice here.
Yeah, we got our top 8. So this meta,
if y'all have been watching the channel this week, something might look familiar here.
Yes. It might be.
It might be a grass type.
It might be. Well, it's a psychic type in this game, but we might be talking about the little fluff ball herself, Whimsicott.
Oh man, it's so fun. So obviously, Gustavo versus Frank in the final matchup. It was really, really cool to see the Whimsicott in action.
Yeah.
Inteleon and Urshifu was the kind of the story of the weekend.
Yeah.
It was sort of everywhere. If you haven't been paying attention to cards, Rapid Strike, Sobble with the Shady Dealings Drizzile is actually pretty good because you can search out anything you want anytime you want.
Yeah, it is pretty good. So yeah, as far as this match, the match goes. So we'll talk about the match a little bit, and then we'll kind of go backward. We'll
I guess,
different.
yeah, I guess
let's talk about the match.
I guess
and
for the
then
podcast,
decks.
we'll tell them.
As far as the match goes, it was a bad finals. It was a bad finals match because Whimsicott just bricked.
Yep, there's nothing you can do about it because, well, and I think he mulliganed too, right?
He might have mulliganed
because he's just running so few of.
Dude, you know what the worst part is?
So few Pokemon.
The worst part is in the first game, Gustavo prized. I think it was the first game. He prized both of his Urshifu V.
He was in a tough spot.
He prized his Urshifu V, and he still won.
Yep.
It's like
and it's a type disadvantage.
When that happens, like you should win the game because Whimsicott's not weak to dark, so you're not weak to Moltres. Nope. It's just literally just it was just brick.
It was just brick. It was super unfortunate because he has a good build.
He does, and it's like, well, we played the deck, so you understand that
and we've played a Rapid Strike very similar to this also.
Yeah, because we've played this Whimsicott. There's really not energy acceleration outside of the double turbo. He's got 4 psychics and 4 double turbos. I think we ran
and the fog crystals.
And the fog crystals. So, and you can there's no acceleration here really.
No,
like the whole thing.
You're relying on your beaver. You're relying on your bat. You're relying on those type of things to just keep your hand going and basically luck of the draw that you get what you need. He's got Marnie and Prof obviously for that as well.
Yeah,
but he just got, in my opinion, he just got unlucky.
And you know what another thing he did? He made the mistake that we made. He had Path of the Peak out.
And did the bat.
Yeah, he didn't play the bat.
No.
We made that mistake. We benched it. But he had it in his hands, but he couldn't play it.
Because he had
Path. So that is a weakness of the deck.
Yep.
Is the fact that you can Path yourself out of Dark Asset.
Which is a big deal, because Dark Asset's the only reason he's in the deck. You don't even have any Dark Energy to utilize this attack.
Exactly.
He's genuinely useless.
You need the Dark Asset to get yourself going with like Babero.
Correct.
Like for all those resources. So obviously with Whimsicott V-Star, we'll talk about the card a second and then the function of the deck. Whimsicott V-Star with Trick Wind does 160 damage for
so good.
3 energies. They cannot play a tool or a special energy out of their hand
for the next turn.
So you're denying them placing Rapid Strike energy.
It doesn't matter if it's not to the poke. It's out of their hand, period. So they can't just like switch or retreat out of it like a status, or like some things will be like that poke can't attack next turn, and then they could do like a retreating and then play switch to come back in, and now the buff is gone, they can attack.
You're literally affecting like just their side of the field.
Yeah, you're affecting the trainer.
Yes,
the trainer himself. Your opponent can't play things out of their hand, tools and special energy.
It's a good way of wording it. The trainer.
And yes, tools is a big deal, but especially in a tournament setting, shutting off the ability to play a special energy from the hand can and will just stop decks dead in their tracks, especially when you also pair this deck with the 4 Crushing Hammer and 4, or this one has 3.
This one has 3, yeah.
3 Fan of Waves, so the ones that they do get out, you
just fan them off.
This deck forces more surrenders than any deck I've played in TCG. It forces scoops, because people get into a spot and they realize, oh, I don't have anything in my deck. Like on the ladder, they'll realize maybe I literally don't have anything in my deck to get through this.
Yeah.
Oh, I just lose.
Especially against like Rapids. Like that, and that's the worst part about how it went down for Frank.
Is he should have the advantage, because not only is it Psychic versus Dark.
Well, Psychic versus Fighting.
Or Psychic versus Fighting, excuse me.
Yeah.
Psychic versus Fighting. So he's got the type advantage, but then it's also the V-Star of Trick Wind versus Rapid Strike. Like, he should have all the advantages in the world. He just had bad luck.
He did.
And against the Drizzile, like, the dude can't brick. It's not possible for that deck to brick.
Exactly. Really. No, that's a good point, too, because the deck is so fast.
And this is going to be that way through Worlds, but that's going to be one of sort of the benefits of the new set rotating out at the end of the summer, is that, anything with a D or previous will be rotated out, which means the Drizzile shady dealings.
The shady dealings, yeah.
They're gone.
I am worried about rotation a little bit, because some good cards are going to go.
Yeah, they are. But like, it's not all bad. Like, for instance, we're getting rid of Switch, but we're trading for Switch Wagon, which is the same thing, but you also heal 30 now. So it's like, I'll take that.
The biggest problem is that
no quick balls will suck. But again,
we got Ultra Ball.
We got 4 months until then, so we'll see. But yeah, there is one. There actually is one Mew VMAX in the top 10.
Yeah, and just I'm just gonna look at this really quick and just show you, like, there's not a lot that's rotating out of this deck in particular.
No, it's gonna be around for a while. Like Elysia Sparkle's around.
Like Quick Ball is the one thing that I see that's like, okay, that's gonna rotate out. Maybe Scoop Up,
but there's already 2 new balls in Astral Radiance, or the possibility for Astral Radiance to have 2 new balls, the Hisuian Feather and Heavy Ball, respectively.
Yeah.
So we don't know what else could be coming out, because there's going to be 2 sets for the rotation by the time it happens at the end of August. We've got one coming out at the end of May, another one coming out at the end of August, if they keep this 3 months, and after Worlds is at the end of August. So that's also basically September 1st is we're sort of predicting another set to be coming out, and that's when rotation can be expected.
Yeah.
So we have the potential where they just come out with Hisuian Quick Ball or something like that.
Yeah,
or
some of these things might come
Hisuian
back.
Pokeball.
Yeah, because that's happened before. Because Judge
Absolutely.
is back. Because Marnie's going to rotate out. Judge is back. So Judge is going to take Marnie's place. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting that Mew VMAX has not won a big tournament recently.
Yeah, in the top 8 that we have here on screen, there's
one Mew VMAX.
There's one Mew VMAX, there's one Whimsicott, and then there is an Arceus Sylveon, which, if you're not familiar, the Sylveon has the ability to search your deck with Dream Gift once per turn and get a item card, but then your turn ends. But it's really good search, and it can set you up for next turn.
Also kind of baits your opponent into maybe Marnieing you out of a bad hand. Like maybe your hand's bad, and you're going to grab Evolution Incense or something like that, and then you can force them to judge you or Marnie you and get a new hand. So I've actually, I've used that before. I've played that kind of style. Like
and he's got the 2/2 Octillery too, and he's got the Karina's Focus. I actually like that in there.
Yeah.
That's actually a really, really cool tech piece, because he's not doing the full Drizzile search engine. He's just relying on the Octillery. He doesn't. He only has the one Marnie, one Judge. But then look at that. He's got double Karina's Focus, and then that is sort of his...
That's his draw
He'll
mechanic.
play his hand down, and then that is his, pseudo Beaver or whatever.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like that tech.
That's probably one of the main supporter cards. Because, he has, a little slew here of different ones. But, these are also situational.
Peony is great. We can't stress enough how good Peony is, especially because he only got one Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX in the deck, and he's only got a 2/2 of the V-Star line for Arceus, and he's only got a 2/1 of the Sylveon VMAX. So I can understand why they would. Oh, he's also got 2/1 of the Crobat. That's interesting.
Yeah,
but I can also understand why he would want a single Galarian Moltres. Peony makes sense.
Yeah, I actually have been seeing people are starting to tech in Crobat VMAX, so they have some dark coverage.
Yes.
Now
that's actually something we've been working on, was using the poison and self poison mixed with Scolipede.
Another thing is it makes it less of a lot, because Crobat V you just put on the bench. It becomes a reliability because it can get KO'd by the combination of Gmax Rapid Flow, Telescopic Scope, and Passimian from Rapid Strike decks. You can pick off. So when you add this, he's less of a reliability.
He's still weak to fighting, but
you've got dark coverage
for sure.
So that helps in the whole Mew VMAX. You're just getting more out of your Crobat.
And a lot of these decks aren't super expensive in real life too. So it's this one is, but
because it's got Arceus.
But the Whimsicott deck was $30.
Yeah, I think so. Let's find out for sure. And
$46. You know what I mean? I'll take that for a second place at a GT. Let's go.
The winning one is
$50.
$50.
Yeah. So it was a really cool match. It was really cool to see Whimsicott get up to the finals and do so well. Unfortunate with the bricking, but the fact that she got there, says it all.
Yeah.
So I was really happy. We were so inspired. We were actually already thinking about Whimsicott based on Tricky Jim's video a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I had a 2-1 line or something on online. And that day, as soon as it got, before the finals were even over, me and Brandon and Doug and everybody messaged in private.
I think
he got to the semi, and that's when I started doing trading.
Yeah, because he got to the semi, and he had just won. And then they said, oh, you're going to play blah, blah tomorrow in the final match. And I was like, hey, before tomorrow hits...
We should get on there and trade.
You should get these Whimsicotts, because the prices of these on PTCGO is probably going to go up.
Yeah, exactly, because they just came in second. So, just like with the Suicune.
Yeah.
Same thing happened.
Exactly.
There.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got on that trade market early, so now we currently own a 4/4 line of the Whimsy. And like I said, by the time this podcast is out, you have already seen that video went live this week. So definitely check that out. Link will be in the description.
Yeah.
We're really happy with how the deck plays. It's a lot of fun. It's basically just it's a stall deck. In
Yeah,
terms of,
it
like,
is.
it just
It is.
stops you dirty, filthy, stinky stall
players, dude.
man.
Oh, my God.
But it's fun. Whimsy's such a fun time.
It is. Forcing scoops is
Forcing
pretty awesome.
scoops on the ladder, man.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm not going to lie. I see why stall players play stall
Yep.
on Showdown now, because it's like...
Forcing scoops.
Yeah, because you'll queue... Because every time I queue up against stall... My brain's just like, maybe I should just click that X button and move on to a fun game.
And just go get out of here.
You know,
take the L.
Yeah. So before we kind of wrap this up, let's talk about this deck.
Yeah. So you actually have tested with this deck.
I have.
It's weird.
This
is a player, like, you can tell how good Gustavo is at this game when you build and play with this deck.
Yeah, because
this is not a pick up and play. This is not a beginner's choice. This is a player's choice. This is a master's build for a master tier player.
Yeah, you worded it perfectly, dude. This deck. I've been playing this game for like 3 months.
Yep.
Maybe
4 months,
tops.
4.
I built this deck online on PTCGO.
Yeah, we own everything, so we just kind of piece it together to try it out.
I just don't know what I'm doing.
It's tough, man, because it's almost like analysis paralysis because there's so many options. So it's like, what am I supposed to be going for? And the only way to do it is just getting reps. You got to just get in dozens or hundreds of reps and just keep doing it, and you learn by making the mistake.
Another thing that's kind of like problematic is the fact that you use this on ladder. Ladder's different than an international championship. Everyone's bringing the best deck,
which is exactly what we touched on with the Whimsicott video.
Yeah,
like we fought a Corviknight. Nobody's
using Corviknight.
Sweet deck, but like stuff on the ladder. Like we fought the 2 or 3 times that day. One on camera. We fought the Kyogre deck.
Yes,
which was featured. That's like a 6-month-old feature, but people are still rocking it with the 30-40 card energy.
Yep, but like this deck, like. I guess Urshifu VMAX actually matches up pretty well with that because you can attack. But say that doesn't exist, but like it's different. Like you don't plan. This deck wasn't planned to fight the Kyogre Celebrations deck. This is
planned to fight top table meta. It's just like Warhammer or anything. Like there are armies there that are good against top table armies that are statistically, Honest Wargamer stats. Shout out to Rob and Ziggy. Like there are armies that just statistically do worse against the lower tier armies. So those armies with like the 30 to 45% win rate will crush certain higher tier armies that are but those higher tier armies are good.
Yep.
Like again, like Legion of the First Prince. Legion of the First Prince is one of the most astounding examples because it's such a low play percentage. So few people play that army or that faction on a competitive level. It's got such a low percentage of people that are actually showing up with that list. But against those lower tier, Beast of Chaos will just stomp all over Be'lakor. They don't care because they've got 200 some odd wounds of just idiot goatmen. They don't care about that. So this is sort of that in bring it back to Pokemon. This is one of those weird off-ball lists like the Legion of the First Prince where like if this deck was to go up against like just some random thing on the ladder, it'd probably struggle against certain builds.
Yeah, like there's a reason that he runs Avery.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's to limit the bench of Fusion Strike.
Exactly.
And to limit the bench of like the Suicune.
Sobbles and Suicune.
Sobbles, exactly. Like that's
Genesect, yep.
You see that on the ladder, but this is a little
but like his specific build, like he's mathed this out.
Exactly. Yeah, he has.
Everything has a purpose for being at 1 or 2 or 3
one
or
choice
4.
spell. You know what I mean? He probably has the math down perfectly. He's like, I only need
this
the
is
choice
the matchup
spell.
I need. Exactly.
When I'm up against Arceus, I need choice spell. If I'm not against Arceus, I don't need choice spell.
Exactly. So like he's probably knows every match. He's done it just and it's game reps. Same thing with Disc. Same thing with Pokemon. Same thing when we're talking about Warhammer. The more like again, there's a reason that Owen Jackson is by far the number 1 Osteoarch Bone Reaper player in the world. It's because he did nothing but play OBR, specifically Nagash, for a year straight. He took no other army, and he played like 16 tournaments in a year, and that's in person, not even counting online, the ones that he ran during COVID. He ran like 15 the year before that.
Yeah.
So like the dude is just at every weekend playing anytime and all the time he can. And he might be changing his build, but he sticks with the idea of like, hey, I want to take my Bone Reapers. I want to for you. It's a skeleton army, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to take these skeletons. So he says, "This is my faction." All year, he did nothing but take that. So like that sort of thing here is like this dude's probably played hundreds of games with this deck now.
Yep.
And he might have changed around. Okay, maybe he used to run 2 Clara, and now he realized, you know what? I only need the 1. Instead, I'm gonna go back and swatch it to 2 Avery and blah 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 blah. Like he has got down to, for him, a science. This is not the first time that Gustavo has won this tournament specifically. So he has now shown that he is that upper echelon of player that we're talking about here. So when we bring up the big names in Warhammer, when we bring up the big names in disc golf, Gustavo is that now for TCG. He has. It's not a fluke. Nope. This is now 2 dots can create a line. If you can create a line, you can see a pattern. That's, and I guess sort of.
And you know what? That's like a really good point that you make, because people will argue on VGC and TCG about like kind of the RNG, but you keep. But why do you keep seeing the best players? Why do you keep seeing? Why do you keep seeing Joe UX9? Why do you keep seeing Gustavo?
Yep. It doesn't matter what army they're playing. It doesn't matter what deck build they're playing or what disc they're throwing or whatever.
Exactly.
When you consistently see that Owen Jackson is, going 4-0 or 4-1 or 5-0, when you see Math Mallow going 5-0 basically forever, like when's the he got a draw at Rob's tournament, but like he didn't it was a 4-0-1, so like he didn't lose a game, they had a draw. So like,
but he's in the mix for the win. But
no, he did win. He won the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
He won that, well, first of all, he won a tournament with the tree elves for the Sylvaneth, for people that know. But for you, it's basically wood elves and a bunch of tree people from like big tree people, right?
Yep.
That army is like tied for, the bottom 3 in the game.
That's crazy. Dude.
So. And then he also when he brought Lumineth and he stomped and everybody was busting his balls online, they're like, oh, well, you brought the super OP elf army.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'll go back to my love, which is the Sylvaneth, the trees. And he went for no losses and a draw and won the tournament. So it's like, when you see this dude, those types of people consistently putting up wins or even tournament wins, regardless of what faction they're playing, bring it back to Pokes, regardless of what build they're playing.
Yeah.
Obviously we'll bring up like Wolfie Glick. Like he's top 9 again, like for VGC. Doesn't matter that this is a different series. He didn't win, but he's still top 10. That's still that dude can't be understated as a master. Same thing with Gustavo here. So
exactly.
I find that perspective of analyzing the stats fascinating.
Yeah.
Because
I do too.
You can see a pattern now of like, oh, this person knows what he's doing. It wasn't just he was playing the OP build at the time and the build carried him. Mm-hmm. There are some people like that, but again, this has been a big conversation in Warhammer over the past couple of weeks, actually. The big talking heads have been talking about this, is that because there was a big tournament in Chicago last month, and the person that won, it got recalled because the judge made a mistake.
Oh, wow.
They got awarded, she won and got awarded the victory. And then it got taken, it was a 4-1, so they won 4 games and they lost 1, but because of all the points and turn, blah, 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 they ended up winning. But then later, it was a big bunch of drama because the judge had to recant it, like, oh, I'm sorry, miscalced, human error, but it's unfortunate. You're not the winner. He is. So
that's so brutal.
So it's been a big controversy now in the Warhammer meta of like, because she had a very, very it wasn't Mew. It was non-standard.
Yeah.
At all. It's like the Whimsy coming out of nowhere.
Yep.
It was a very non-standard, and she did great. So everybody was like, you just won the biggest tournament in the world for AOS 3. And turns out she came in 2nd place.
That's a heartbreaker.
This conversation is super important to us for things like that. Yeah. Because it's like, she's on Worlds is coming up soon for AOS. It's in real soon. I think it's in June or beginning of June, and she's on the AOS Worlds team through the USA. So like, certain criticisms were thrown at her, in that perspective of like, oh, it definitely wasn't the list that carried her.
No.
And when you start to look and then
No.
you see, oh yeah, she's on, because if people might know her, whatever, people on Twitter, Randy's.
Yeah, Randy's.
And you kind of look like, oh wow, she actually has 14 miles behind her of stats to prove how good she is. Again,
Yep.
it's unfortunate that it happened that way. She was actually just on a podcast, AOS Coach, to talk about it. I'll wrap this up. But basically the point is, I find it really fascinating that like you'll keep seeing these top players, but then these new emerging players will come out and you'll see different builds or just picking their brain of how they do stuff. And one of the things they do is they talk about the reps and the practice.
Yeah,
I guess is how I want to round
you
that
need
off.
the skills to pay the bills. It's not enough to just buy Mew VMAX and get good with it.
That's exactly. It's not a pay to win.
No, it was like there's only one Mew VMAX in the top 8. I mean,
Yes.
if we pull up top 64, I bet there's 40.
Yes.
I bet there's 40 Mew VMAX.
But in the top 10, there's only one, and that's a big difference
it is
from a month ago.
And not taking anything away from this player. This player's probably amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
just from a statistical anomaly, going from like 4 or 5 a month ago in the top 10 to 1 now,
yeah,
it's a big change.
And there's
it's a big dip.
Yeah, and then there was another regional over in Europe. I forget where it was. Rapid Strike
Rapid Strike Malamar did really well.
Yeah, that was the second place deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rapid Strike Malamar lost to
Yeah.
Italian and Urshifu. So
yeah.
So I think that kind of wraps it up for cards and stuff. I think we just got one more little rumor mill, and then
we've got a couple things to talk about. We can close out the show.
Yeah. So we got one more little thing for Pokemon Unite. Justin, they've been teasing a new Pokemon. Who are we talking about here?
So we've talked about it on the channel a little bit before, but so Delphox. Has been the big rumor mill. El Chico Eevee talked about it. We have talked about this on the channel, so we'll kind of just phase through it quickly. But we talked about it in the news section. We wanted to have this at the end in case people don't want to hear spoilers or whatever.
Right.
Totally fine. But the new patch comes out tomorrow.
Yep.
And today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. We have not had any news from either rumor mills or from the actual company themselves. And they always have, as of right now, they have a pattern. And the pattern is usually 5 to 7 days out-ish, let's say a week-ish. Before the character drops, they'll put out this little 30-second teaser thing, and we got to see, like, Azumarill hitting the Ludicolo with his Aqua Tail and stuff.
Yeah, little one, like, it's usually like 30 seconds.
And they show 1 or 2 moves with the Unite move, and then, coming soon.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any of that for Delphox yet, so I highly doubt that we're going to get a Shadow Drop without any news, but we could, and that'd be great. But I don't think it'll be this week. So our prediction will be hopefully, because it has been, as of recording this, it's been 3 weeks since we've got the bunny, and we haven't heard any news yet, which means we're probably still at least a minimum a week out. So hopefully we'll get news any second now, and then next week will be Delphox. But we just want to reiterate for people on the channel, when we did the main artwork of all of our top 10s, Delphox was basically like Brandon's like 11 or 12.
Yeah,
like right there.
Yeah.
Just
the first psychic starter.
Yeah. And you also a big fan of the fire starters. You start fire actually quite often.
Yeah, I started with Typhlosion, Delphox, Cinderace, yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So a decent amount of time you have definitely picked. You started Emboar, didn't you?
No, Samurott.
Oh, dark. How could I forget Samurott? How could I forget Samurott?
Yeah, no. Samurott all day.
You're an Ensign fan.
I do like Ensign, but I started with Rowlet.
Oh, okay.
Rowlet was way cuter, so it wasn't even a Decidueye thing. It was literally just Rowlet.
Just Rowlet, yep.
Like sometimes that's like my decision is literally just like made by that.
Speaking of which, put Incineroar in this game already. What are
yes,
you doing?
Please.
Oh
We want Incineroar. God. We need Parting Shot.
Oh yeah.
Flare Blitz.
Give me Darkest Lariat right here.
Oh yeah. Just them around like Smash Bros.
So, obviously, Delphox is going to be an attacker. Like, knock on wood. There's nothing else. I want it to play something like a mixture of like Gardevoir and Charizard. Like, I want it to have Fire Spin, and I want Fire Spin to have a stun. Like, I want them to be trapped in the fire and take dot damage, and then I want her Mystical Fire to be like Psyshock, where you just drop fireball bombs or something. You could shoot them, but I like the drop.
I wouldn't mind I'm with you, but I wouldn't mind if they did we've been kind of seeing hybrids of roles and classes so far in the last few releases.
So what would you want? Hybrid attacker,
supporter?
Ooh, support mage.
Yeah, like a support mage, like
maybe she'll have trick.
Yeah,
Switcheroo.
But it's really unfortunate that they released Hoopa so recently, who has the same ability, and also has trick. So it's like,
I expect her to be. I want her to be a dot mage, but she could nuke also. Like Brand in League, it has a mixture of nuke and dot damage because of his burn mechanic. So like, if she has a burn mechanic, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Brand in League of Legends, if somebody is burned, then all of his other fire spells have an upgraded ability, so that you can hit him with a fireball or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
But if it's a burned target, then it automatically has the upgraded effect. So anything burns, so you have to choose your order of operation. Okay, the first one I throw out is not going to be upgraded, but that'll start the burn, and then I can throw out this, and that gets the stun, or that gets the...
Kind of like Shadow Ball and Hex. Or
exactly.
Sludge Bomb or Sludge Bomb? Sludge Bomb and Hex.
Exactly like that. You kind of have to set that up first.
Yep.
But I do really like that idea of using burn for her mechanic. But either way, that's sort of what we're talking about. Yeah, we're really excited for Delphox to come out. We expect it to be very soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's 2 characters that drop in the month of May. There have been rumors. We have not had a speedster since the game dropped, and there's been loads of rumors that apparently we're getting some soon. And also, some of the rumors have been talking about, this is the one that's skeptical, because Eevee already exists, and we've talked about this on the show. How are they going to do Vaporeon? How are they going to do Umbreon? How are they going to do Jolteon, or any other evolution that might be your favorite? The reason I ask is like, okay, you pick Sylveon, I'll pick Umbreon, and we'll go lane together. Tank and damage.
Well, what are we doing here? What's the difference?
Who's Eevee? Like, if you're against that, how do you tell which one's the offensive Eevee and which one's the defensive one? Which one to target? Like, we got to go for the squishy damage.
Right, because we like to pick out, like, Cinderace and Froakie and Rowlet in lane.
Like, if you have a difference between attacking the Pikachu or attacking the Snorlax...
You're going for the Pikachu,
so it's standard mode. So there's just a lot of issues with having, like, again, if you were to do like Gallade, that wouldn't work in this game presumably, because like you'd have to have a whole other Ralt and Kirlia. So it just with the evolutions, it's weird. But the rumor is we're gonna have Glaceon and Espeon apparently have been found, their names in the code of the game. My prediction: there's a new map or a new map skin like we had for the winter thing, and Espeon and Glaceon are
like camps
of some kind,
okay,
or something like that. Like there was also Buzzwole. I mean, Buzzwole, I don't see them putting an Ultra Beast in the game. I see a Buzzwole as like a Zapdos.
Yeah, just some sort of objective, or like the objective.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it for Unite's rumor mill stuff. The rest of it is I mean, it's all hearsay. It's all take it with a grain of salt. But it is exciting to sort of keep seeing this game ramp up a little bit. We have been having a lot of fun with it this patch.
Yeah, we have.
We're really excited for the next Battle Pass, which starts tomorrow for the Blastoise skin. We're so ready for that.
So good.
Very, very happy to see that Blastoise. He's got, like, for people that don't know or watching the podcast, go look it up. He basically has, like, a blue Japanese kimono.
Yeah, dude.
It looks really good.
It looks so good.
And because we don't have to pay the exorbitant price gouging wages that they're asking for in the game to pay them, it's just for the battle pass. It's actually kind of worth it. We actually rate the battle pass quite a bit. You get a lot of coins, a lot of tickets, 2-3 skins.
Yeah, you get 2 skins for sure. Yeah,
so,
some costumes for yourself.
Yeah, so we are all PMC going to be jumping into that. And other than that, we'll just close out here with some rebranding stuff. So obviously, there was another person online that had the name Pokemon Masterclass. They are a card, like, selling guide.
Economics Pokemon cards, yeah.
Yeah. So big shout out to him. We didn't want to potentially step on any toes or anything. And, by now trying to monetize our podcast, putting it out there and actually putting it on streaming services and stuff, we want to make sure that we've touched around with a couple different ideas.
Yeah.
We are going to be starting up a new show on the channel. which is going to, because we love monotypes. We love everything monotypes in basically every format. Monotypes is one of the best things that Pokemon has to offer. It's one of the things that we love about Pokemon is the typing, which gives types advantage and resistance or immunities. That's one of like the main features of the Pokemon franchise.
Yeah.
We love monotypes. My name is Gym Leader Justin in terms of this show's my online persona. I love grass type Pokemon. We always talk about the PMC gym. He's obviously the psychic gym leader. Doug would be water, etc. We are going to have a new show, and it's going to be called the Gym Leaders Academy. So again, sticking with that class theme that we're going to be teaching you how to become a master at whatever different monotype stuff. And basically, it's just going to be another spin-off diary.
It's like a subcategory of
a
fun
diary
things.
vlog again of all of our monotype stuff, whether that be cards, whether that be TCG Showdown. Or just VGC singles. Unite, now that they're starting to get it out. We've got,
if we get Delphox, we can do a full psychic team.
We'll have a full psychic team, full
and
grass,
a full grass
team, which is just perfect, right on brand. So that'll be really exciting. That goes with our new brand. So the channel name on our YouTube, as well as here, finding them on any podcast providers,
Facebook, Instagram,
all of that, is still the PMC, Pokemon Masters Council.
Yep.
We are Pokemon Masters. In our own right. We've been doing this since we were 6 years old when it first came out. People are talking about nostalgia, and they're opening pack cards that make us feel old, because it's like, I remember that. I had that.
Yeah, I saw a video of some dude, and he's like, opening vintage. Yeah, I was like, this dude called these packs vintage? I remember
I had every
these packs.
single one of those, man. Yeah. But yeah, so again, we are still the PMC. We are, repping the brand. We are still masters. We want to teach you to be masters in your own perspective and de-randify the meta of anywhere else we're going, and have a good time doing it, and have a good time. Maybe give you some fun spin-off rules you can play in your house rules with your own gaming group at home.
Yeah, it's like a fresh little rebirth for the channel, because now we're going to be covering TCG extensively, and we're going to try to have a better balance of what we're covering.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're going to try to cover, obviously we want Showdown.
What we want to do is always going to... Yeah, what we want to do for our free time is always going to be what dictates what kind of content we make. So it's not like, I think we should do this. Well, I don't want... If we don't want to do it, we're not going to do it. So the things that we're interested in is kind of what you're going to see on the channel. And right now, that's, as usual, Unite's been picking up a lot of steam. Cards are obviously taking the forefront at the moment while Series 12 is going on. And then
Showdown's going to be back.
And then Showdown would be third.
Yeah. And then we will be covering every regional and every international challenge.
The tournament analysis and kind of post analyzing and kind of stats coverage and stuff like that. We're diving deep into competitive, as we are, casual players, but we are that competitive mindset. We're always striving to be better at competitive. We want to teach you to be better at competitive. So learning from, whether it be LCS or the Honest Wargamer streams for Warhammer, or watching the latest tournament in disc golf, or whatever your hobby is, learning from the pros is always the best way to... You don't have to copy paste or net list exactly, but learning their tricks and then figuring out what works for them, and then figuring out how that can work to your style.
Yep. All right, man. I think that covers everything, right?
Yeah, I think it was great.
Remember, we have a different sign off.
We
now,
do.
Okay,
we do.
So let's
this
not
is the first
mess it
time.
up. Let's not mess it up. Okay. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Review us on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. However you listen to your podcast, give us a 5-star. I'm holding up
5-star dives.
And leave a comment on the video. Let us know what you thought.
Yes. Let us know what you think about the tournament this past weekend. Let us know what you think about whether whether you watched the VGC, TCG, or both. What did you think about that? And keep the conversation going. We'd love to have that talk with you in the chat section.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, until next time, I've been Zero.
And I'm Justin.
The council is adjourned.